Dexter didn't just kill to stay hidden. He lied, over and over again, to everyone. Some lies bought him time, others destroyed lives, and a few, they almost exposed everything. Today, we're breaking down every lie Dexter ever told to protect his secret, and why each one pushed him closer to being caught. Let's start with Rita, Dexter's perfect cover. She was gentle, traumatized, emotionally reserved, and exactly the kind of woman who wouldn't question odd behavior. Dexter lied constantly about late shifts, random fishing weekends, and even about being a recovering heroin addict when she found his kill tools. Yes, he passed off his blood slide trophies as drug paraphernalia, and she believed him. But his most unsettling lie wasn't about where he went. It was about why he stayed. Dexter didn't choose Rita out of love. He chose her because she made him appear human. She brought structure to his chaos. Her presence, her children, their domestic life, it was all part of the illusion. Rita offered him something no kill ever could, plausible deniability. And the scariest part? He started believing his own act. The more he pretended to love her, the more he needed that illusion to feel real. But it wasn't. When Dexter said, "I love you," what he meant was, "You make me look normal." So here's the question. Is it still love if the emotion is just a tool? At what point does affection become manipulation in disguise? Then there's Deborah, arguably the most devastating casualty in Dexter's web of lies. She wasn't just his sister. She was the one person who loved him completely, without conditions. And Dexter exploited that love at every turn. He lied about his whereabouts, his motives, and most of all, his identity. When she caught him killing Travis Marshall, he didn't confess. He reframed it, called it justice, said it was necessary. But even as Deborah began sensing the truth, Dexter let her unravel. He stayed silent while she doubted her instincts, questioned her morality, and slowly lost trust. Not just in him, but in herself. That's the most dangerous part of Dexter's deception. His lies didn't just protect him, they broke her. He didn't simply withhold the truth. He manipulated her into carrying the emotional weight of his choices. And when she finally confronted him, he didn't ask for forgiveness. He justified, explained, rationalized, as if his code excused the lives he'd taken. Still, Deborah tried to protect him, lied for him, sacrificed her career for him. But love can't fix what someone refuses to acknowledge. In the end, Dexter's lies didn't just shatter her worldview, they destroyed her. So ask yourself, when devotion becomes self-destruction, is it still love or just collateral damage? But Dexter's lies didn't stop at family. He lied to his colleagues at Miami Metro every single day, right under their noses. Dokes noticed first, because while everyone else saw a quiet, awkward lab tech, Dokes saw control, calmness where there should have been discomfort, curiosity that felt unnatural. And when he got too close, Dexter didn't just deflect, he destroyed him, framed him, let him die, branded as the Bay Harbor Butcher. Cold, calculated, completely intentional. And then came Lagerda. When she started connecting the same dots, Dexter didn't hesitate. He lied, manipulated evidence, and even convinced Deborah to choose him over the truth. He turned the people sworn to uphold justice into pawns in his cover-up. And when Lagerda died, he stood over her body, knowing the truth would stay buried with her. What's chilling is how normal he made it all seem. Dexter was the friendly guy in the lab coat, handing over reports with a smile, while simultaneously erasing his own footprints. He didn't just fool the system, he was the system. And that's what made his lies so dangerous. No one suspects the man who writes the evidence, especially when he's the one it should have convicted. And then we have Lumen, one of the rare people who discovered Dexter's secret and wasn't immediately wrapped in plastic. She saw him kill, and instead of running, she leaned in, joined him. But even then, Dexter kept lying. He told her bits and pieces of the truth, but never the full scope. He downplayed his urges, masked the long trail of blood behind him, and framed his killings as justifiable because, this time, it was about helping her. But was it? Or was Lumen simply a convenient excuse to kill without guilt? Dexter wanted to be her savior, not her equal. He never admitted that the code wasn't just about justice, but about control. That for him, killing wasn't always moral, it was instinctual. Lumen never got to see that side. She saw the version of Dexter he wanted to believe in himself. And when her revenge was complete, she left. Because she could. Her darkness was temporary. His was permanent. And that's what hurt him the most. Not that she left, but that she got to move on while he stayed trapped in the same cycle. For a moment, Dexter thought he could share his secret and be understood. But once again, the truth wasn't enough to keep someone close. Then came Hannah, a woman with blood on her hands, just like Dexter. In theory, she was his perfect match. Someone who wouldn't flinch at the truth. Someone who might actually accept the monster instead of the mask. And yet, Dexter still lied. Lied about his plans, lied about the code, lied about his ability to change. Even while strapping her to the table, preparing to kill her, he was already falling for her. Talk about mixed signals. But that's the twisted part. This relationship, which began with planned murder, somehow evolved into the deepest connection he ever had. Not because it was healthy, but because it was honest, eventually. Unlike Rita or Lumen, Hannah didn't need the illusion. She knew who Dexter was, she just didn't care. And in that, Dexter found something dangerously comforting. Still, he couldn't stop lying. Not to her, and definitely not to himself. He told her they could raise Harrison, start over, live a quiet, peaceful life. But we know Dexter. Peace wasn't in his nature, and maybe deep down, Hannah knew that too. Their love was built on the fantasy of escaping who they were, but in reality, Dexter wasn't escaping anything. He was dragging her into the same darkness, just in nicer clothes. But none of these lies come close to what he told Harrison. That's the one that really hits. Dexter lied to his son about everything. Why Rita died, why he abandoned him, why he chose isolation over fatherhood. And when Harrison finally returned, Dexter didn't come clean. He crafted a new lie, a fantasy where he could be a present father, a reformed man, someone who had his darkness under control. But it was never under control. It never had been. He told Harrison his killings were necessary, that they were clean, calculated, even noble, that he only hurt people who deserved it. But Harrison saw the cracks immediately, because while Dexter was telling stories about justice, the bodies were piling up, innocent people were getting hurt, and the line between predator and protector was long gone. The most painful part? Dexter truly thought he was doing the right thing. That passing down the code would somehow redeem him. But Harrison didn't want to inherit a set of rules for murder. He wanted a father, a real one, not a vigilante with excuses. And when he pulled the trigger, it wasn't just an act of justice, it was a rejection of the lie, of everything Dexter had tried to pass off as truth. And still, Dexter kept lying. But here's where it gets darker. Because at a certain point, the mask wasn't just for others, it was for himself. He told himself he only killed bad people, but we saw otherwise. He killed people based on instinct, on suspicion, even on impulse. He killed when angry, when threatened, when cornered. He wasn't following justice, he was chasing justification. He believed he could stop, but every season that same promise echoed, this is the last one. And every time the urge came back, the kill table, the knife, the ritual. He told himself the code gave him control, gave him purpose. But the reality? The code was his security blanket, a moral illusion, a structure to pretend his actions were noble, even when they were anything but. And the most dangerous lie of all, that he was still a good person. That somewhere under the blood, the lies, and the bodies, there was still a man trying to do the right thing. But Dexter wasn't trying to be good, he was trying to feel less bad. There's a difference. One is growth, the other is denial. And for Dexter, denial wasn't a flaw, it was a survival strategy, one he never let go of, until it destroyed everything. And all those lies led to one final, brutal truth, the lie that finally broke everything. Dexter believed he could keep doing this forever, that he could juggle his dark urges, his family, and his secret life without it all crashing down. But secrets rot from the inside. Deb died, Lagerta died, Hannah fled, and Harrison was left with a choice: become like his father, or stop the cycle. In the end, Dexter's greatest lie wasn't just about hiding who he was. It was believing that he could protect the people he loved from the truth, when in fact, the truth was the only thing that could have saved them. So now that you've seen the full picture, here's the question: were the lies worth it? Dexter avoided capture for years. He built a life. He fell in love, sort of, but he died alone. Not because he was caught, but because he lost the last person who saw any humanity left in him. Every lie bought him time, but every lie also took something from him, and eventually, there was nothing left to take. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.